last time we started this lecture note, but we did not finish yet, I think. Yes, so we take the static keyword. We said nested classes, it's outside our cover. So we will speak about Enum or enumeration type. Okay, just let's take a fast look. Last time we gave this example. Okay, same example almost. Here we have two static variables. Why we made this one static and why we made this one static? Who knows? Okay, we made this one static because the company name will be same for all the employees here. Okay, so if it's same name for all of the employees, if we did not make it static, this means it will be repeated with every object, with every employee object, okay? But when we make it static, it will appear only one time. When it's static, it will appear in the memory, or it will store in the memory one time only with the class or at the class part. So we manage here the memory and we have better memory management. Again, I think I gave it last time, but if we imagine that this is a heap, okay, and we have object for employee 1 and object for employee 2. So we have the memory part for employee 1 and the memory part for employee 2 for object E2. If company name not static or non-static, this means it will be stored here with employee 1. We have company name, this one. There is no place to write it. So I wrote it like this. And here also we have company name. What's the content here? M and G. What's the content here? M and G. And if I have another employee, M and G. If I want it to be same data for all, why to repeat it like this? We are wasting memory. So for 2 objects, we repeat it 2 times. For 100 objects, we will repeat it 100 times. So it's better for memory management to make it static. So if it's static, it's belong to the class. So we don't repeat it with every object. We have it in the memory only one time outside all the objects with here just I made a short name with that class. So we not repeat it. So the value one time or mng, not mg. Okay. So this one for memory management, so we don't want to repeat it. This one, why it's static? Okay, a static value, it's a shared value between all the objects. Yes, It's a shared value between all the objects because it's belong to the class. So all the objects will use same place in the memory. So any change from one object will affect the other object because the other object will use the last value changed by the previous object and so on. So this one, number, integer, as static, it's appear only one time in the memory. So we have here place in the memory for the variable number. And all the objects can reach it. So inside the constructor, what we said here, number plus plus. So increase number by 1, yes? So when we create object like E1, what we did, we use the constructor. What's the constructor do here? Increase the value of number by 1. So the default value is 0, it's become 1. Okay, when we create object E2, we use the constructor also employee. It's increased number by 1. So it was 1, it's become 2. So all the objects use same data. So the effect from one object will appear for the next object and so on. Okay, so because it's a shared value, why we use static here? Because we need the number to be a shared value between all of the object. What's the difference if the object is not static? Sorry, if number is not static. If this one, non-static, integer number only. What's the difference? This means this variable number will be different from object E1 and object E2 and object E3 and so on. So we have number here. When it's non-static, we don't have this static keyword. So number, we have number here and we have number here. Okay, so when we create E1, we use the constructor. The constructor said what? Number plus plus. So number of which one? Of object E1. So E1 dot number plus plus. So the default one, it's 0, it's become 1. Okay, we create E2. We use the constructor. What's the constructor doing? Increase number by 1. But which number? Number that belong to E2. So E2 dot number plus means increase by 1. It was the default one, 0. It's become 1. So this is different. This is just a quick read. Okay, final keyword. Final keyword, we use it for the constant values. Okay, so final means the value is final. We cannot change it. So it's constant. Okay, so any variable start with final keyword in the definition. So it's a constant value. Okay, what's the difference between static and final? Static means fixed memory. The memory is fixed. You have one memory for this variable. Final keyword means the value is fixed. You cannot change the value of the final variable. So it's make the variable as constant. Final variable, we make it static. Why we make it static? because it's value constants, not changeable. If it's not static, means we need to repeat the value with every object. So imagine that you have constant variable C, its value 10. You cannot change this value, yes? Why to repeat same value that you cannot change it with every object? So we put static, okay, after final, to make the value stored in the memory only one time instead of store it with every object. Okay, so when we define constant value like this one, we make it final and static. Okay, there is another issue. If you cannot change it after the definition, after this line, you cannot change the value of by here. So if you cannot change it, you have to, or you must initialize it, give it initial value, because after this statement, you will not be able to give any value for the variable. What do you mean? Like this. Okay. Project doesn't matter the name of the project. Okay. Plus X. Final. Static. Integer. X. Okay. What we have here, error message. What the error says, variable X might not have been initialized. Variable X is never read. Constant name does not follow naming blah, blah, blah. Okay, what's the issue here? The issue here, X as constant, you cannot change it later. And you did not give initial value at the same line. So X will not have any value. So it's error. So you have to give it initial value, for example, 10. Okay. We can change X after that? No, we cannot change X because it's final static, means it's constant. So if we try to change it, for example, okay, we have the constructor, then we will take value from outside, integer A, for example. Then let's say this dot X or X directly, doesn't matter. Let me name it. I don't want you to confuse. Let me name it I, okay? Because the class X, it's different, capital X from small x, doesn't matter. I equal A. What we have? Error. Why we have error? Cannot see it? Okay, what is I? Final static, means it's constant. Then we said I equal A. So we tried to change the value of A, but change the value of I. But I constant. Constant means you cannot change its value. So here's the error. You cannot assign a value to static final variable, to constant variable. You cannot assign a value. You cannot change the value of the final static variable. So why? Because it's constant. Okay, let's continue. Static method in Java. Last time we mentioned the static variables. Okay, what's a static method? Same issue like the static variable. Static method, it's belong to the class, not the object. What do you mean by belong to the class, not the object? Means it will be stored in the memory with the class part, not the object part. Okay, I will show you some memory. So a static method also can access only static data directly. Means without using the object, only static data. But non-static data cannot be accessed directly without object. Also, static method cannot call non-static method, or a static method can only call other static method. Like what? Here. Let me just delete this part. Main method is static, yes? Okay. In this class, let's create some variable. Integer a equal 5. Void m. What m? Method. Yes. So anything. Let's print anything. Okay. Look here. This class, even project 4, it's have the main method and method m. We remember that in the same class, we can use the variable of the class, any variable, any attribute of the class, and we can use any method of the class, yes? So, for example, let's create another method. Void n. We can call m from n, yes? We can set m directly without any problem. From method n, we call method m. Is it correct? Yes, because they are in the same class. Okay, we can say here a equal 10. It's okay? Yes, because variable a belongs to the class, so we can reach it. Okay, what if we made this method static? Directly we have errors. What's the error? We cannot reach variable a, and we cannot reach method m. Why? Let me show you why. Let me just create. Okay, so the memory is like this. We have heap, and we have the stack. Okay. Now in the class, when we said m, void m, we create method m. What is method M? Method M will belong to the objects of the class. So if we have some objects of the class, for example, object 1, O1, object 2, O2, then we will have part in the memory for object 1, and we will have part in the memory for object 2. So non-static variable and method belong to the object, not the whole class. Yes? So look here. Variable A, it's non-static. So we have for object 1, we have variable A, its value, of course, 5, because we have initial value. And we have for object O2, we have also variable A. And we have method M here and method M here. Okay, why method M? Because method M also non-static. But method N, it's static, yes? It's static. What's the meaning of it's static? It's not belong to object O1. It's not belong to object O2 or any other object of the class. It's belong to the class. So N, it's here. Belong to the class. So when inside N, we said inside N, as you can see here, we said A equal 10. Okay, A, we have N, and inside it we said A equal 10. The question here, which A? This one or this one? We don't know. Why we don't know? Because method N, it's a static, so it's belong to the class. And A variable is non-static, so it's belong to the object. So when we said A equal 10, N don't know. Is it this A or this A, or if we have 100 object, which A, from which object? They are in different places. They cannot, or you cannot reach non-static variable, normal variable, non-static method from a static method. So also when we said here M, we call M inside the method N. Of course, N it's static, yes. Static void N. So when we try to call M, which N? This one or this one? Also, we don't know. That's why inside a static method, you cannot call non-static method. You cannot use non-static variable. So if you look to the error here, what's the error? Non-static variable A cannot be referred or referenced or used from a static context, means static method. Okay, same issue for M. Non-static method M cannot be referenced from a static context. Okay, if this one non-static, okay, non-static use non-static variable or normal variable. Non-static method use non-static method or call non-static method, it's become okay. Why okay? Because it's like this here. This mean n, it's not here anymore. When n non-static, this one will be, let me just redraw this part. When n non-static, now this one okay. Why okay? Because we have n with the object O1 and we have n with the object O2. So when we said A equal 10, if we are using object O1, then we means this one. If we are using object O2, then we means this one. They are in the same place, so there is no confuse here. Okay. So static. How to reach non-static method or variable from a static method or variable. You have to mention the object to reach it. You cannot reach it directly. You have to mention the object or create object. You can create object here for the class. Not cut. Copy. O1 equal new. Okay, we create object. Now we can say O1 dot A O1 dot M. What we did here, from static method to reach variable, we have to mention which object we need. Why we have to mention which object? Because if this one is static, okay. Now return to the static. It's static now. Static. When we create object and we said O1 dot A, this n now know which A, because we said O1 dot A. So A that belong to O1. When we said O1 or object 1 dot M, now n knows that we speak about this M that belong to object 1. So this is the difference. So from static method, static function, static method, you can directly reach static variables and static methods only. To reach non-static variable and non-static method, means the normal method and normal variable, you need the object. Because non-static method, non-static variable belong to the object, not to the general class. Static and non-static in different places. Non-static with the object place. Static is static with the class place. So to reach non-static from a static, you have to mention in which memory, in which place, in which object. Okay? Let me open the attendance for you. I think it's enough, 30 minutes. After this, and we have only around 20 students. I don't want to see here now 70 or 75. Don't share the code. I will take the name another time if I found the numbers more. Okay. The password is, or the code is 762258. Five, 10, 15, 22. I see 25 here. Who shared the code with the thread? Okay, I will take the names now. I will read the names if you. Who shares the code with the thread? You don't want to say. Okay. Emre, you are. Or Emir? Emir? Emir. Rahim? Looks so different. I cannot pronounce this name. Juwali or something like this. Juwali Muhammad Ajwali Abdullah. Something like this. Who shares the code with him? I will not do anything. Who shares the code with him? I just wonder. Okay. I will delete his name. I told you, don't share the code. Okay. Nidal? Where's Nidal? You shared the code with your friend? This code. I believe you shared the code. I see it in your face. Okay, don't share it next time. I will close the attendance. Okay, so let's continue. So it's same like the examples that I just wrote it. As you can see here, we have the main method, and we have here static method display and non-static method show. So what's the difference between call this static method and call this non-static method in the main method? Display as a static method, we can directly call it from the main method, from the static method, because static can reach it directly. Okay? If they are in the same class. If they are in different class, it will be different issue. Here, let me just return to the code. Static, okay. Let me make it like this. Okay. Okay, so from the main method now, main method, it's in the same class here, yes? So it can reach n directly. Why it can reach n directly? Like this. So we call the method n directly. Why? Because static and static, so it's okay. You can call it, yes? Okay. Same issue, we can call m, yes? So m, in the same class, we can call it. No, it's error. Why? Because the main method is static, but m non-static. So how to call it? We have to create an object first. So we will create object. Let me just take the name of the class to create object. So first I will create object here. For example, O1 equal new. So now we have object from our class. We can call the method M1 using the object. Okay, let me just change something here. I will take all this to another class, class X, for example, or class O. Okay, inside the class O, we have variable A, we have M, we have N. Now, we can reach N directly? No. But here, static main and N static. But they are in different classes. So how to reach a static method? You can reach a static method using the name of the class. What's the name of the class? O dot n. So to reach the static method, we can use the name of the class directly. Why directly? Because it's belong to the class. Okay, here this object must be from O. So M non-static, to reach it, we need object. We cannot reach M using class name directly. Why? Why is this one okay? But this one error? This one okay, and this one error. Why? This one, N, it's static, so it's belong to the class. We can use the class name O capital directly. But M, it's non-static normal method. You cannot reach it using the class name. You have to reach it using the object name. Object name, which is O1. Okay. I can reach N using O1. It's possible also. Why? Because it's like this in the memory. In the memory, yes, N, it's belong to the class, but also the object can reach it. Any object of the class can reach it. So for a static variable or a static method, you can reach it directly using the class, or you can reach it using any object of the class. But even if you use the object of the class, you are using same content that belong to the class. Even if you said o1.n, we are speaking about this one. o2.n, same n. o3.n, same n, because it's belong to the class, same like the variables. Okay, we have important subject now. Let's move directly to it. Nested class, not with us. We have enumeration. I want to mention only one thing in the nested class, just for your information, not in the exam. What's the meaning of nested class? Means we have a class. We have a class inside another class. Okay, normally class, you cannot make it a static. Normally class, you cannot make it a private. But the inner class that inside another class, you can make it a static, you can make it a private. Why? Because you can reach it using the outer class. This is the only way to make the class a private. Any class in Java cannot be private, except inner class that inside another class can be private. Why can be private? Because you can reach it inside the outer class. Okay, just general information. It's not for the exam. Okay. Now, one important subject, which is enumeration type. You remember the Enum from C language, yes? From programming 2. In C language, you take the enumeration. Here, it's little bit different. The idea same, that we have a set of constant values, like name of the days of the week, like name of the seasons, summer, winter, and so on, like the direction, north, south, and so on. Like, for example, courses. If we have, for example, a center teaching courses, and we have 3 or 4 courses, so we can make it as a constant inside enumeration. Yes. Until now, we speak about issue. It's same like C language, but enumeration in Java, it's more advanced. What do you mean by more advanced? You can imagine enumeration in Java as special type of classes. So what we have usually inside the class, any normal class, what we have inside it? We have variables, attributes, we have constructor, we have methods. Enumeration in Java have constant variable. So we have constant word, and we can also use constant variable, and it could have constructor to set the values of the variable, and it could have methods also, same like the class. So here, one of the simple shape of enumeration with only constant words here. So enumeration day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so on. As you can see, we have a colon, not a semicolon here. Okay. We have a comma here, between everyone except last one. Okay, values same. First one will be 0, 1, 2, and so on. The difference is here. Enumeration in Java, we could have the constant names as I mentioned, but we could have also after semicolon some methods. So what I have here, let me just make a simple project. Week6. Okay, we can create enumeration, for example, subjects. Okay, so we have math, we have, for example, programming, one, and we have, sorry, where is it? Here, yes. We have, for example, data structure. Okay. 3 courses, enough. How to use this enumeration? Here, I want to reach it from this class. We said we can consider enumeration as class, yes? How to use the classes? We create an object. So we need to create object from this enumeration. So the enumeration is subjects, for example, S1 equal. But here we don't use same as the class new. No, we have to use values inside the constructor because it's constant value. So we can set subjects dot, then we can select any subject, data structure, math, programming. Like in C language, you can use that constant values, special constant values. So math. So if we print now, if we print S1, what it will print? Math, yes? Okay, this is the simplest one. We can add things for the constructor. For example, math, we can give it the course code. This is the course name, math. We can give it the course code, for example, the course code 100, and we can give it the description. For example, okay, directly we have here error. I will tell you about the error. Okay. Let me just okay, so this math, it's code 100, programming 1, it's code 200, programming 2, it's code 300. Okay, this is Okay, what's the issue here? When you have the simple way, only math, programming one, data structure, you don't need constructor. But when you give information for each constant, here we give two variables, one for the code, one for the description. In this case, you must have constructor. You must have constructor. Why you must have constructor? To read this value. So I must have constructor. To have constructor, you must have semicolon after this part. So we have the definition of the constant, then we have semicolon. What I will do after the semicolon? We have what here? Two variables. We have to define them. We have value here and value here. So we have to define them. What's the first value? It's integer, yes? I will name it, for example, course code. What's the second value? This one, it's a string. And I will name it, for example, description. Okay. Let me ask you. You remember in C language what we said about enumeration? It's a set of constant value, yes? So this values, it's not changeable, it's constant. So when I define the variable for this value, this variable, we will make it as constant. How to make it constant variables? Final, static, integer, course. And this one, final, static, string, description. Why I make it final static? Because it's what? It's constant. Okay, now I need the constructor to take the values, these values from here and from here. So I will create the constructor here. The constructor is must be in these cases. Why it's must be? Because you have values. If we don't have values here, it's okay. So this values, integer, for example, course code, and string description. Then now I have to set these values. So I will say this or without this. This dot course code. It's not here. Okay. Course code equal C and description equal this. Okay. Let me just okay, it's actually initialized, but no, the constructor is here. You see the constructor even the private. Why private? Because we don't want to use it. outside. Here, I think no problem. Just let me change this one. Public in final static integer course. It should be okay. Okay, let me just remove the final static now. Later, I will see what the issue for the final static. Okay. No. We can use it like this. Final static without any problem. Until now, I don't know why I will search about it because I used to make it final static. Why we use it final static? Because this values is constant. You don't change it. Okay, what I did here, we have subjects, math, and we have here the code, course code. So it will know directly this integer course code, it's for this one. This description string, it's for this one. Then we use the constructor to take value from here, not from outside. This constructor actually can be private. You don't need to call it. We don't call the constructor outside the enumeration. Okay, then from where this one come and from where this one come? It's come from here. Okay, see, it's take first one, string, it's take this one. Then we take it for the variables. Okay, now what's the difference here? Now it's not different. Math. It will print math. But we can say it is one dot description or course code. So now, what's the course code of mathematics? 100. It will print 100. If we make it instead of math dot programming 1. So what's the code of programming 1? 200. We said S1, which is the course, dot course code. So now we can use the course code and the description. So we can use something like this. Okay. System put out. Okay, the course information. Okay. Now we can print the course name. Okay, plus what I should print here. Which one has the course name? The object of the course, yes? S1. Okay. The course code S1 dot code should be S1 dot course code. And the course description S1 dot description. So now it's make different with us. Now we have the course information, course name, programming 1, course 200, and course description. This is the programming course. Okay. Let's enhance this one. I will put all this one as private. I can make it private. Yes, we can make it private, but if it's private, I cannot reach it like this. So how to reach it if it's private? Set and get, yes? Set, we don't need set because we use the constructors to set the data, but we need what? Get. So get course code or code. What this get code do as a method? As you can see, inside the enumeration, we can put method, same like the class, exactly. So get code, what it's doing, it's return what? Course code. What's the course code? Integer. So we have to define get code as integer. Okay, here we will return a string from get description. What get description method? It's return description of the course. So now instead of using directly the course code and course description, we can use dot get code dot get description. Okay, same result, of course, here, but here we made the variables here as private. The constructor can be private, by the way, or not here. Here. Why it can be private, the constructor? It's the only, or not the only, in some cases we can make the constructor private. We will mention another thing. But if it's private, you cannot use it from outside, yes? Actually, we don't use it outside. So it can be private. It's normal. It can be private. It will not affect us. Okay. What if I need this one as array and I will put all the values of subject inside this array? So first element in the array, first subject. Second element, second subject. Third element, third subject. Java allowed you to use some methods here, dot values. So what's this dot values? It gives all the values from the enumeration. So all the values, it's more than one value. Here we have 3, we could have 100, we could have. So if it's more than one value, we need to keep it inside array, yes? So now we have all the enumeration values using this method, values. So enumeration name dot values, it brings all the values of the enumeration inside array that we will define it. So now us have all the values. Now us what? It's array. We have to mention which element from this array, yes? So S0, for example, means element 0 from the array S. What element 0? Element 0, math, yes? First subject, element 0. So as you can see, we print math. Element 1. What element 1? programming. This one, programming. So we have in the array all the elements. Now, as you can see, programming. Who can use for each loop to print all the values? I want to print all the values. This is the courses information, and from here, I need to print this information for every course. We use what? For each what? Each value from S, yes? Each value from the array S. We have array S. Each value from S. We need to take each value inside a variable from the same data type. What's the variable data type? It's subjects, the enumeration, yes? So, subjects, for example, SS. So what I did here, I said from the array S, get each object, or because for each, from array S inside SS. What's the data type of S? It's array of subject. So SS must be subjects. Or let me name it K, anything. Okay. So for each loop means take each value from the array S inside the variable K. Each value in the array S, it's type what? Subjects. So we define K as subjects. Okay, now this one begin end of the for loop, and this one become what? K. What is K? K, it's a variable from subjects that take its value from S. So first time K will be first element of the array, which is math. Second time in the for loop, it will be element programming, element 1, and then element 2. So this is the output. The course information, math 100, and this is the description. Program 200, and this is the description. Data structure 300, and this the description of it. Okay. You have to practice more, especially for the for loop and using the array and so on. Let's create last example with us before leaving. What time we should finish? Let me calculate. 9:30, yes? Let me open the last attendance for the second attendance. Okay, quickly, same code. Have you finished? Okay, finish. I subtracted it. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Look, this code or this class diagram, we have here company and employee, two classes. Inside company, we have array of employee, should be array here, array of employees, and then company name, which is come from enumeration. So we have enumeration for the company, and we have employee, and we have in the company, we have constructor, and we have employee, get employee to get employee information, and company get company to get company, means to return the company information, and we have the main method. Unfortunately, we don't have too much time to write everything from the scratch. So employee, let's see it. It's a simple one here. Employee, we have only what? Integer ID, string, name, and we have constructor to take ID and name and to return the name. Okay, and ID and name is private. So it's simple code. We have a class employee. Inside the class employee, we have ID and we have name. We take ID and we take name using the constructor employee, and we return the name using this method. We create this method get name, it's return name, which is a string. Simple one. Okay, what else we have? We have here the company. Company, we define employee array and company name, which is enumeration. So inside the company, we have first enumeration, company name enumeration. We have, as you can see here, it's mentioned Apple, Microsoft, Google, IBM. Okay, I did not put all of them, just I put two of them, Google and Microsoft. We have ID, we have description, ID, description, and we have here, as you can see, private, final, integer. What's this one? The year, and this one, the description. Static. Okay, so the problem with the static keyword, not the final keyword. Okay. So we have here description also. So this is a description, this is the year. And we have constructor for what? For the enumeration. Company name and enumeration. Here we have constructor and we have method to return the year and method to return the description. It's same like the enumerations that we created here. Same issue. Okay, inside the company, we have employee array. Why employee array? Because we need more than one object of the employees. So inside array, we keep it. And the company name, it's come from this one, the enumeration. So we create object from enumeration. So inside company, we have employees and we have enumeration company. What's the company here? Yes? Who know? What's this one? Hello? Constructor. Yes. Method have same name like the class. Class company and method company. What it take? it take employee array inside this array, and it take company name inside company name. Then we have what? We have here a method, as you can see, it's written here, to return a company name, and method to return the employee. So we have company name method, we return company name. Okay. In the main method, what I will do? I think it's not this one. Where is the project? It's belong to which project? Week 6 multi-classes. Week 6 multi-classes. This one. Okay, this is the main class. So let me just close all this. I will use this two classes. What's the idea here? We have employees that belong to a specific company, yes? So first we need to identify the employees and add it to the company. So we need to create some employees. How to create employees? Employees from class employee. First employee, staff 1, employee 2. We create objects, yes? So you know these classes. We create this class and we create the company class. Let me just, I feel that you are in another place. Look, employee class, you have any problem with the employee class? It's a normal class. Company class. Company will have many employees, yes? Each company have many employees. What's the meaning of many employees? Array of employees, yes? How to put many values in one variable to make the variable as array. So we said here, the company have array of employees. Employee, here, the class employee array, I will name it EMB, for example. Okay, so I create inside the company array of employees. Also, I want to create the company name. So company name, it's one name, not array, yes? So how to create object from company name? What company name? Company name, it's enumeration. We said like here we create array of object from employee as a class. Same issue. The enumeration we can create object. So company name object. Okay, now I want to take this values from outside. How to take value from outside to your class? We use constructor, yes? So I will create constructor for the company. What's the constructor doing? It's take array of employee outside from outside to this array of employee for the company. And it takes the company name from outside to the variable company name. Okay. Now I have another method only to give me the company name. So this method return what? So get company name. Okay, get company name. What it's doing? Return company name. Yes. So any method return value must have the same data type. Yes. What's the data type of company name? Company name. Yes. CNAME it have company name. So to return CNAME, the method must have same data type, which is company name. So this means get company name method, it's return value from the data type company. Okay, so now inside the main method, what we need? We need to create company object and to give the company object the employees, which is array of employees. So first we have to mention who's the employees, how to create the employees using the employee here. Yes, so we create object from employees. So employee, don't want you to look, focus here. So M from the beginning. Employee, for example, E1 equal like any object. Class employee, we create object, a new employee, and then what values we have to give for the constructor. As you can see here, we give ID and name. Yes, so we will give ID, for example, 100 and name Ali. So we create first employee. We will create more employees. For example, 4 employees. Employee 2, employee 3, employee 4, employee 2. I will give him code 200, this one 300, this 4. For example, this one Omar, this one Nihat, this one. Okay, all the names male. Let's have one female. My daughter name. Okay, so we create 4 objects from employee, but for the company, what we need? Array of employees, yes? So I cannot pass every employee for the company. For example, if I create here object from the company, for example, C1. Yes, it's correct. Equal a new company. What's the first value for the constructor? I create object from the company. Yes, it's take array of employee and it's take company name. Okay, company name, it's easy. We can set what? Company name dot Google, for example. So we give the company name, but the problem with employee, we can say E1. Why? E1 it's a single value only, yes, single object. But first variable here for the company what? Array of employee, array of object. So how to create array of object? Array, normally employee as array, I will name it, for example, EMP. Okay, array of employees. You can set EMP. But What's the values inside this array? We have to give the values. It's equal. Then what's the content of employee? E1, E2, E3, E4. So E1, E2, E3, E4, and close the array. So now we create array of employee. I name it EMP. It's have the object E1, E2, E2, E3, E4. Now we can pass it to the company. Okay. Now let's see something. Company one. Okay. Dot. Get company name. What's the output? Google. Company name is Google. Here, I just give it for C1. C1, company name is Google. Run it. Oh, I return it or not? Return CNAME. We take CNAME here to CNAME. So return CNAME, which is company name. So CNAME, it's a company. Should be okay, I think. So get company name here. Should work. Why it's not giving? Okay. Get description or dot. Oh, you know why there is no output? We did not print the value. It's out. We get the value, but we did not print the value. This is the issue only. I forget to print it. So I'm looking for the output, but I did not print it. Okay, why is this one still here? So now we print the value. First of all, I did not print the value. Okay. I need from you to print all the employees who belong to company one. So to print it first, company must return the employees, yes? Or you can use the employees array from company one. Try it at home, okay? I think we have to finish now because I have another lecture.
Last Friday, our teachers love to talk about it.